I'm going to show you step by step how you can rank your Framer site first on Google and also have it be mentioned, cited, recommended by LLMs like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, and many, many more. This is a full-on tutorial, full course on Framer SEO. And so, that being said, strap in and let's just jump straight into my computer so we can get things started. Let's go. Okay, we're here. So first things first, again, I'm going to show you how to increase your traffic by ranking for a bunch of keywords on Google and pull in traffic right here, straight to your site. And also, I'm going to show you how to get mentions in ChatGPT, Google's AI reviews, Perplexity, and many, many more. It's going to be a very long, very boring tutorial, but by the end of this full course, you're going to have every single thing you need to get your site to get more traffic from search by ranking first on Google and get your site to be mentioned across all of these LLMs. Okay, now I'll be using this test Framer site as an example, and I'll also be using this free plugin, again, 100% free, that gives me a bunch of data on, analyzes all my pages, tells me what's wrong with it, tells me how to fix it, and a bunch more other cool stuff. Again, this is fully free. I'll leave a link for this in the description. It's just an easy way to get a quick audit on any Framer site. Again, 100% free. I'll leave it in the description. Now, the very first thing we have to understand is a little bit of theory behind this, because if we don't understand how search engines work, how backlinks work, how all these things work, it's going to be very hard for us to actually rank the site. Now, you can, again, either learn it yourself right here and do it yourself, or just hire an agency. Again, if you want to learn and actually implement it yourself, well, I'm here to teach you. So, first things first, there's two things you have to know, okay? We'll be talking about the classic search engine. So we have Google right here, where you just search for something right here, right? And there's result 1, there's result 2, there's result 3, right? So on and so forth until result result 100. That's the classic Google, okay? Or Bing. And then we have LLMs like ChatGPT, where they work in a bit of a different way, like a funnel, where you give it a prompt, it gives you an answer, right? You give it a prompt, it gives you an answer, and you go back and forth, prompt, answer, until the answer you have, we've all used ChatGPT before, right? Until the answer you have satisfies the search intent of your prompt, okay? Just like with Google, right? Based off of the keyword you type in right here, right? Most likely these 3 search results will be the best at satisfying the search intent of your keyword. So if you type in, for example, best dog flea collars, right? You won't, car mechanics won't appear right here because these wouldn't satisfy the search intent of your keyword. If you type in where to fix my iPhone, well, most likely iPhone repair shops will show up here, not dog care centers, because again, those don't satisfy the search intent. Or for example, if you type in how to tie a tie, right? Well, guess what? A bunch of videos and links and videos and tutorials on how to tie a tie will show up, okay? This is the basic, right? Now, all of this stems from one thing, right? Which is the keywords. You have to make a list of the keywords that you want to rank for, okay? I don't know what your business is. If you're an e-commerce store, an agency, a local business, I don't understand. Not that I understand. I don't know what you are. So I'll give you the theoretical part on how to find the best keywords. Now, there's a bunch of tools out there you can use, AI, non-AI. You can even plug this into ChatGPT and say, hey, this is my site, do some analysis, figure out who my customers are, what I sell, and give me a list of keywords that you think I should be targeting, okay? Now, I think the best way to go about this is just you just sit down and make a list of all the keywords you want to rank for, because you know your business better than anyone else, right? You know your customers better than anyone else. You know their pain points better than anyone else. So who better than you to make a list of the keywords? Now, I'll give you an example. So let's say my business is an iPhone repair shop, okay? I have an iPhone repair shop, a physical business, right? But before people come into my shop, they have to come into my website. So they go to my website and then eventually they come into the door and I'll fix the phones for them. Now, my site could rank for keywords like how to repair an iPhone, but it could also rank for keywords like where, or how much does it cost to repair an iPhone. Now, let's say the keyword how has 10,000 searches a month, and the sum of the search volume of these 2 keywords, where, how much, only has 1,000. Now, one might think that it would be smarter to target this one, but no, because we have to look at the buying intent. We can't just look at the search volume, right? Here's what I mean. Someone is looking for how to repair an iPhone. Well, most likely they want to do it themselves, right? Well, someone's searching for where or how much. Well, most likely they want to pay someone to do it for them, right? So again, it's not about traffic necessarily. It's about the buying intent, okay? And what you have to do is you make a list of all the keywords you want to rank for, right? Then make what I call a keyword matrix, where in the y-axis we have the buying intent, and in the x-axis we have traffic. Usually, higher the traffic, the higher the competition, right? And you put all these keywords right here, right, in these quadrants based on the buying intent and traffic, and then you don't go for keywords here nor here. You go for keywords right here and right here. Why? Because this is high buying intent, low traffic, high buying intent, high traffic, okay? Because, I mean, not that it is pointless to rank for low buying intent keywords. For keywords right here, low buying intent, high traffic, are going to be very hard to rank for. And even if you do manage to rank for those keywords, well, they're not going to convert. So yeah, sure, you might get traffic, but you won't get sales. And we're all here to get sales. We're all here to make money. We're a business. We have to make money, right? Now, again, not to say that these are necessarily like 100% irrelevant, right? For the keyword how, even if you only repair phones physically, if you were to rank for the keyword how, well, you could rank like a guide with step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. In step 4, you could say, hey, if you made it this far and you haven't done it yet, well, most likely, I don't know, you're facing issues. So here's a link to book a free a Zoom call with us where we'll fix your phone. We'll tell you how to fix the phone on the call, so you don't even have to come into the shop. So I guess you could sell like one of those, like a paid Zoom call where you just fix the phone on the call, or tell them how to fix the phone on the call, or you could sell like a PDF guide. I don't know. There's stuff you could do here again, but I think it's way smarter if you're getting started with SEO to just go for the keywords that are easier to rank for, that have higher buying intent, than to try and go for this. Because sure, maybe you can capture their emails and nurture them through nurture sequence. There's a lot of stuff you can do right here, but I think it's smarter to go this way. Again, you can do both regardless. Okay, so that's the very first thing, understanding the keywords, right? Understanding why certain content ranks for certain keywords. Now, in that line still, it's very important to understand the type of content that ranks for those keywords, okay? Because sure, let's say now we have the keywords we want to rank for, perfect. Again, we'll speak about backlinks, we'll speak about all that stuff, don't worry, right? We'll dive deeper into LLM SEO or AI SEO or GEO or AEO, however you want to call it, right? But we have to look at the type of content. So for example, with this same example, how to tie a tie, right? You have to look at the type of content that shows up. For example, for how to tie a tie, well, guess what? Look at what's like the more towards the left-hand side, the more important it is, okay? So Google values short videos, then images, right? Of course, it won't really value like a blog post or an article or a news piece because it doesn't make any sense, right? But for how to tie a tie, Google knows that the pieces of content that best satisfy the search intent of their users are not even videos, are short videos, right? A couple years back, before TikTok, it used to be videos because, I mean, it's way easier to watch a video than to just read an image or read a blog post, right? But now, because short form is usually way shorter, like usually like the long form videos tend to be like, hey, welcome to this tutorial on how to tie a tie. If you have a tie, like super boring, super dumb. I mean, if you've been on YouTube for a long time, you know, like a lot of times these tutorials like spend like 5 minutes on an intro and then 30 seconds on the actual tutorial, right? And short form came to change that because people were forced to give out all the whole info in around 60 seconds. Okay, now short form is a bit longer, but you get the point. So YouTube has prioritized short form. Okay, so you know that if you were to want to rank for this keyword, well, look at the content that's ranking and produce the same type of content. Okay, this is key right here. Google literally tells you what it wants. Same thing for AI. So I'll just use AI mode right here. It's Google's version of ChatGPT, right? So for example, if I do, what's the best Framer SEO plugin, right? If this is my prompt, so if I want, like, let's say again, I own this plugin, the Framer SEO plugin. If you go to, I think it's Framer marketplace plugins, if you could type in Arvo, I think we show up. So if this is free, by the way, we don't make any money off of this, but let's say I want to make sure that everyone in the world that types in this prompt or a variation of this prompt in any LLM, we show up first. So what do I have to do? Well, I paste in this prompt, and again, I look at the type of content that's ranking, right? In fact, we're already ranking, and I'll tell you why in a bit, or I guess getting mentioned. But again, just like with Google, where you type in how to tie a tie and look at the type of content, or for example, what's the best dog food for, I don't know, dogs with allergies, right? If I were to rank for this keyword, right, I had to look at the type of content that's ranking. I see it's a listicle, so 9 best dog foods, then Reddit, then best dog food, so literally the top 6 best food. So, okay, looks like the type of content that's ranking is listicles. Okay, so look at the type of content. Then, of course, you also have to look at the meta title, the meta description, the keywords they optimize for, which we'll go over in a bit. But again, Google tells you what it wants. Okay, don't overcomplicate things. Just like any LLM, they tell you what they want. Again, for example, look at the brands that are set right here. Why does this brand show up right here? Why do we show up right here? Why does this show up right here? Well, look at where the brand is being pulled in from. So for example, I don't know if these guys are good or bad. I'm sure they're great, right? But why are they showing up right here? Because their brand is being mentioned in these citations. And what are these? Let's dive in. Okay, so this is a blog post on the 5 greatest Framer SEO plugins in 2026, posted last year. Okay, and there you go. These guys are mentioned right here. Same thing. What's this? Okay, it's another best Framer SEO tool. So okay, I know, right? The AI is telling me that, okay, if I were to want to show up if I want my brand to be recommended, cited, mentioned for this prompt, well, most likely I'd have to include my brand in a listicle type of content. So I could either pay these guys to include my brand right here, or I could write a similar type of content on my site, right? This is more towards link building, but we'll dive deep into that later on. But hopefully this is making sense so far. Like, look at what, again, literally tell you what they want, okay? Let's see right here, us. Why do we show up right here? Because we have a page on our site that talks about the best Framer SEO plugin, okay? Again, this was super easy. I made this page a couple months back, actually this month, right? It's not hard. Again, still the LLM SEO space, kind of a wild west. And also, we're not sure about how the search volume of this prompt, like LLMs don't give you search volume for prompts. For example, if you go to Google Keyword Planner, right here, and for example, if I type in a Framer SEO plugin, right, Google gives us the search data, the search volume for these data. Let me just quickly change this to the US real quick. Boom, 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 save. There we go. So it gives us the average monthly searches. Now, for LLMs, they don't give us this data yet. Maybe someday they will. So we're not sure exactly how many people actually type in this prompt. So this could be useless, like maybe 0 people type in this prompt, or a variation of this prompt, right? Because you could have multiple prompts, right, with the same search intent. For example, this could be like, what's the best prompt? Okay, I'm looking for a Framer plugin to improve my site's rankings on Google and mentions in LLMs. What's the best one? So these are basically the same prompts, right? They have the same search intent, okay? This and this. So there's infinite ways to say the same thing, basically. But what LLMs do is, based off of the intent of your search prompt, what they think the intent is, right? They give you sort of the same answer, if that makes sense. Again, Google gives us this data, and we could extrapolate that, okay, if this gets 100 searches right here a month, well, the same thing would get the same prompt, or a prompt with a similar search intent, we get the same amount of volume as well over there. Hopefully this is making sense so far. Okay, so again, we look at what the content that's being cited for a certain prompt is, or the content that's ranking for a certain keyword is on Google. Okay, so that's, I guess, the very first thing. Now then, right, so we have the keywords, right? That's good. We know the type of content we have to produce, right? We know let's call it the T for type, right? Now we have to focus on-page SEO, off-page SEO, which are backlinks, and technical SEO, okay? So SEO has 3 pillars, right? SEO has 3 pillars. Okay, we have to focus on all of them. Jesus, SEO. Now, I'll include AI SEO, GEO, all in this same realm, because if you do SEO correctly, so if you manage to apply what I'll teach you in this course and get the classic traffic from ranking on Google search, by default, you'll also get cited or mentioned in LLMs, okay? So there's a correlation between both. No causation, but correlation, because 1/3, and I'll leave this study in the description of this video, 1/3, okay, of the websites or the brands cited by LLMs are nowhere to be seen on Google. Here's why this matters. So if we have Google right here, so this is Google, and we have ChatGPT. So let's say I give it a prompt, it gives me an answer, right? Let's say I give it, on Google I put in a keyword, right? Result 1, result 2, result 3, until result 100, okay? Boom, 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 result 100, where nobody clicks, okay? Hopefully you guys can understand this, right? Prompt, answer, right? For 1/3 of searches, right? Based off of any prompt, the answer right here, if it recommends a certain brand, a certain site, 1/3 of the times that brand, that site is nowhere to be seen on Google. So they could rank 100th, right? And still, the LLMs are pulling it in and citing it as a source worth mentioning. What does this mean? Well, it means that in 1/3 of the cases, you don't have to rank on Google to get mentioned and cited by LLMs. But again, the other 2/3 you do. So again, correlation, not causation. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because even if you don't manage to rank on Google, right? Even if you rank 100th for a certain keyword on Google, just having that content there, that page there on your site, right? That information there is very important, because you never know if based off of someone's prompt, right? Excuse me, that will prompt the AI to go and through the others result and pull that in. Because all that AI is doing is based off of your search prompt, right? It's going on Google, browsing to a bunch of sites, browsing to Reddit, and if it has to go to the others result to satisfy the search intent of this prompt, the better it will. Okay, so that's that. But again, my original point was, okay, if you manage to crack and do well in classic SEO, you'll do well in the AI SEO. Okay, so going back here, talking about these 3 points is very important: on-page, off-page, and technical SEO. Now, in terms of technical SEO, this is the boring stuff, okay? This is your sitemap, your meta title, meta description, your site speed. I'll show you a quick example. So what you can do is just type in, let's just do a quick example, Dallas plumber, right? I'll go with a local business now. Like this right here, let's see, I want to give you a proper example. Let's say this was the first page right here. Okay, so let's say let's just go with this. Okay, let's just say these guys are ranking first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, actually, let's just do a better way. Let's say again, these guys were ranking first, second, third, right? Technical SEO is very important, right? For example, your meta titles, this right here, your meta descriptions, this right here, are very important. Your schema markup. Schema markup is basically a little snippet of code, you can add to your site to get extra stuff, extra features in the SERPs, search engine ranking pages, like these little stars. You can also get like images right here, right? There's a bunch of stuff you can get, extra features that like make potential customers' eyes drawn to you more. So even though these guys rank third, well, my eyes were instantly drawn to these because they have like little stars. So the click-through rate right here and the CTR could be higher, right? So these things do matter. Again, your meta title also matters. For example, plumbing services, Dallas, Texas. I replace this right here with, for example, the word 24/7, right? Because who cares for the brand name? They care if it's 24/7, right? Rogers Plumbing Company. Like this doesn't make much sense. Probably why these guys rank on the second page. So let's go over the first page right here. This stuff is very important, right? Let's see right here. Again, I'm not talking about Google Maps. If you want a Google Maps SEO course, I'll link one below because I have it, but we'll just talk about the classic search, okay? For example, let's see right here. This is a good example. Dallas plumber, 24/7. So again, now a bad example because they wrote too much. And if you write too many characters, it doesn't even matter because it doesn't even show up, okay? So again, it's very important to do two things right here. SEO optimize it. It's a bit redundant because SEO stands for search and optimization, but by that I mean sprinkle in your keywords, the word plumbing, the location, 24/7, right? Plumbing services, okay? Sprinkle those in both in the title and the description, and then for increasing click-through rate, right? Don't make it too long. Add the stars, right? Front load your keywords. So these are all things that matter right here. And by the way, this little free plugin again helps you with that, right? It gives you, for example, this is for the homepage. There's a page title, but it's too long, right? There's a meta description, but it's too long, okay? And I can even see, for example, let's see, it's going to analyze the whole thing. If there even is one, if there isn't, and it'll suggest one for you. Again, it gives you all this, that it also gives you a score on what's wrong with it, okay? And you can quickly fix it. You can refresh it if you guys want as well. You can even inspect the whole thing. You can even inspect your competitor's site if you guys want. Again, this is all free, by the way. Just a way to do these things quite faster because why not, right? Again, these things matter. So put some thought into it. Now, what's the best way to do this? Well, it's to go in and look at what the competition is doing. So if you're a plumber, place your keyword right here, look at what they're doing. Look at their meta titles, look at their meta descriptions, and try to do this same thing, but a little bit better. So don't do this, for example. Don't write it too long that it doesn't even show up. Or for example, I don't know, let's see here. Cheap dog food for street dogs. I don't know. Right. Let's see here. Look at, 7. So it's a listicle. Look at what the cheap and health, maybe the keyword healthy, maybe it's good for click-through rate because, yeah, sure, you want cheap, but you'll also maybe want healthy because you're feeding like a stray dog. So again, I can't do these for all niches, but look at what they're doing. It's all boils down to looking at the competition and try to deconstruct what they're doing and doing it in a better way. This is for everything, but I'm just basically speaking about technical SEO right here. Then also for sites, the site speed is very important. Like you could rank first, But if your site takes ages to load, well, it's going to be kind of pointless because people click it, takes long to load, they just click off and click the second guy. And if they do that enough, well, you're just going to like go down. Now you can go to Fiverr or Upwork to hire like a site speed guy, or you can just go in and type in a Google page speed test. And this is a free Google tool that you put in your domain, and it tells you what's wrong with it, why it's slow, why it's fast. And you can just either copy all this report and send it over to your dev, or just send it over to your a freelancer, an agency to fix this for you. Again, I won't teach you how to fix this because I don't think it makes sense that you even go and waste time on this when you can just outsource this for like $50 to have someone perfect this for you to make it fast. But I did want to mention this because it's very important. Like technical SEO is very important. Hopefully you understand why, because again, you can rank first, but if your site takes ages to load, well, kind of pointless. Or if your meta title kind of sucks, not clicky enough, it doesn't entice people to click on it, well, then nobody's going to click on it, okay? And by the way, like little small plug right here, there's this feature in Arvo where you just basically go here, add your site, select the language you want to target, select how many pages you want it to analyze, and this will analyze basically for all these technical SEO issues. For example, for page titles, hey, this is your current one. This is the one we think you should change it for. Here's why we think that. And if you hit apply, it'll just fix the page title just like that. You can even bulk apply all these changes if you guys want. This is the same thing for meta descriptions, canonicals, image alt text. So it finds images on your site without alt text, tells you why it thinks that you put this one, and hit apply. And again, the plugin, by the way, also finds them. If we go here to images, also finds the ones without alt text. Again, this is just a test site. There's a bunch of them, but it finds all this for you. Same thing for links, headings, all this good stuff right here. But again, on here, there's also this internal link, so it analyzes all the pages on your site, right? And it says, hey, we think you should link this page with this one with that one. Here's why we think that, right here. And if you agree with it, you can hit apply, and we'll create that internal link for you automatically. So it's pretty cool. Internal linking also is very important because when this, let's say this is your homepage, right? And we have one page, another page, another page, another page. If you build backlinks to your page, to your homepage, and it links with this one and then links with this one, the link juice will sort of flow through. So having a proper internal linking structure is great for when you go out and build backlinks, and also for user experience, because people will spend more time on your site, okay? So that's very important, okay? Again, this same thing for schema. Right now, the schema is the thing that I mentioned that gives you like the little star ratings. Right now, this is just as it for FAQ and article schema. In the future, it'll also do it for the star rating schema, which is called aggregate schema. And by the way, if you go to schema.org right here, you can find all these schemas. Again, I'll leave a link for a course on how to do this, but there's a bunch of ones right here. The aggregate rating is the one that gives you the stars. And you can just go here and just copy this right here in JSON format, change the whole thing, change the whole thing for your site, how many reviews you have, review count, the stars for 1 through 5, and then just add this to any page, and you'll get the stars automatically. Now, you could lie technically here and just put, hey, 5 reviews, 1 million reviews. But Google does cross-check across Yelp, Facebook, and other places to see if this is true, because if they find out it isn't, well, they'll just won't add it, okay? So be wary of that. Again, I'll leave a link for this, a course on this in a bit more depth. Otherwise, this would be super long. But again, just know that schema markup, is also very important for all this good stuff. Okay. And by the way, you just saw their article schema or FAQ schema, on Arvo. Let me quickly show you again. Here's another example of that live. So this right here, quickly show you again. Right here, FAQ schema. What this is, again, is a little snippet of code you add to your site right here. Don't even have to know what this is. Just go here and hit apply, and will automatically be applied. And this gives you the extra feature on the SERP, the search engine ranking page, is something like this. For example, can dogs eat strawberries? So what this is like gives you this stuff right here. So the reason why the reason why these sites show up right here in this FAQ schema, right, is because they have FAQ schema on that page. Okay. So that's again another feature. Like, sure, you could show up first right here, but it would be cool if you show up right here, because it's much easier to see. Okay, and then of course links out to the original source, and this is done with FAQ schema. So there you go. Hopefully, I'm making my point across. Hopefully this is being valuable so far. Again, if you guys want to install the plugin, 100% free. I'll leave a link for it in the description. It's just super easy and allows you to analyze a bunch of stuff. Like, you'd be surprised on the on the amount of sites that I've analyzed that have multiple H1s. This is a super easy and quick issue to fix. But if you don't have it fixed, it's going to be very hard for you to rank, because having multiple H1s headers, it will confuse Google. Like, how can you have two main things? You can't have two H1s. And again, maybe I can dive deep into this if you guys want, but stuff like this does matter. Your social share preview image, all this does go a long way. Again, just install the plugin, see what's wrong with it, and if you have any questions, just comment down below. All right. So now we know we've talked about technical SEO. I want to go over on-page SEO, and then we'll go over off-page, which is basically the backlinks. Now, in terms of on-page, again, we know we have to produce content, right? The only reason why when you search for something, there's stuff right here, or the only reason why when you prompt any LLM for something, it gives you an answer, is because it read content somewhere, right? If you type in whichever keyword, right? This is just content. These are search engines. They're looking for information. So you have to create that information. So if you want to rank for the keyword, I don't know, best fast iPhone chargers, well, you have to give something that satisfies the search intent of that keyword, right? What that is a piece of content, right? A listicle, an article, a news piece, I don't know, something, okay? And so one of the ways you can do it is you can use, for example, Arvo for that. Again, full disclosure, this is my tool. I make money, but my point is that you don't need to use this tool. I'm just going to show you because it's mine. It's quite easier, but this will just basically allow you to produce that content. Okay, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Claude, you can do it even by hand. I'll just use AI because it's way faster. And I genuinely think, as biased as I am, that if you don't use AI, you're going to get left behind. I'll just quickly show you here an example. Let's see, for example, right here, one article that we did generate a couple hours ago. Campaigns not a block, full campaign generations. Okay, so this is an article targeting ghost towns. There was this marketplace that sold basically a Zillow for ghost town places, and we just generated this piece of content. And this is an article that target those keywords. Even has an in-article video that's relevant for what the keywords are. So this piece of content is made to rank for the keyword ghost towns in Kansas for sale. Okay, we want to rank for this keyword. We want our site to show up in LLMs when someone searches for buy abandoned houses in Kansas City, right? So when people type this in, I want my brand to show up first right here. I want my brand to be mentioned right here. How do we do it? Well, we have to produce a piece of content, create something that satisfies this search intent of this keyword. And what that is a piece of content. Read an article with, hey, a table of contents, images of the houses, where they are, etc. Internal links, external links, even in-article videos that are relevant to what the content is about. Okay, this is what we want, right? So again, Arvo helps you do this, right? If there's something you don't like, you can even go here and I think I already did this. Yeah, you can select parts of it and add links, and the AI is going to find the best places to add links to. Sprinkle in the keywords, rewrite things, make it simple, make it shorter, make it long, make a list, make a table, add custom prompts. Like you can go here and transform this into a table if you want. If you think your readers will best understand the info in a table format. You can reprompt images if you guys want. If they're AI-based images, you can just go in here and say add a pig. I don't know. You can just change things around. You can just publish this straight to your site, right? Choose your integration. Also, by the way, you can even use this. Like you can speak with it and say, hey, add a full-on paragraph about XYZ, link out to blah, 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 create this image, embed this video. Just as if you're speaking with ChatGPT, you can basically prompt anything right here and we'll change the article as a whole. By the way, again, if you want to publish this straight to your site, you can just go here to configuration, integrations, create integration, just connect this straight with Framer or via API or any other of these CMSs right here, straight to your site. Again, you don't even have to use Arvo to publish the content, to generate the content, you can just go here and go to content and write article. You can start from scratch. You can start from a blank page and then just use Arvo for the SEO editor capabilities, these ones and this right here, or you can even start from a competitor's link right here and just ask it to, like, for example, let's say I put here a competitor link right here from a site, whatever. It will basically create a draft based off of their article or their posts, right? And then I can just ask AI, as you saw before, to make it basically better. Just go here and use the assistant to, hey, how could we improve this? And basically speak back and forth with it to improve it, and then just again post it straight to your site. And also you can fully automate the whole thing here with the campaigns and auto-blogs. New campaign, let's just call this my Framer site. Enable automation, auto-blog, full automation mode, hit continue, and then you can have the AI automatically publish however many articles or pieces of content you want to your site every day, every hour, every month, however you want it, okay? And by the way, just one last thing, we give you a bunch of customization. You go here to article templates, again, you can customize the language. There's over 150 different languages. target country because it does make a difference, right? You can write in English, but you could be targeting US, UK, Australia, right? Tone of voice, point of view, formality. There's even advanced options for custom prompting. You can even connect knowledge base so that you can upload basically your brand's assets onto Arvo so that Arvo is able to write non-AI slop, so brand tailored content with your own brand's mannerisms and tone of voice. So you can upload like PDFs, documents, text files, audio files, all this straight to the knowledge base. You can change the formatting structure, even add custom calls to action at the end, article size, internal linking, external linking, in-article images could be AI or not. If they're AI, you can even custom prompts, in-article videos. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff you can do for the classic template. You can even create your own custom template. This is an advanced feature. I won't go over this right now, but I mean, you can create comparison page templates with your own generation prompt, a specific markdown outline. Let's say you want like a title, table, image, H3, so you can customize the whole thing because the default template is just intro, key takeaways, H2, paragraph, H3, paragraph. If you just want like a free tool page with just a H2, a listicle, then a table, right, and then an image, you can customize this right here in the markdown outline. Again, you can just basically customize the whole output of the piece of content, right? Something with 2 images and then a table and then a whatever, right? You can customize this if you guys want. Hopefully that made sense. Again, I won't dive deep into this because it's literally infinitely customizable. There's even a tutorial right here you guys can watch if you guys want for that. But point being is that you can use Arvo to generate the content and have it fully run on autopilot forever. You basically, this works off of feeds. You can have like a YouTube channel feed where when a YouTube channel posts a video on their channel, we take that info on there and generate a piece of content and publish it to our site. News feed based off of news, keyword feed. I'll leave links for all these stuff in the description for case studies and on people that are doing this. It's pretty cool, pretty straightforward. I won't make this video all about Arvo because that's not the goal. But so again, now you know that you can use Arvo or any other tool you want to produce content. Just make sure that that content is properly optimized. And for whichever keyword you're targeting, make sure that the content you're producing is similar to the content that's already ranking for that keyword or the content that's already being cited for whichever prompt you put into AI. Hopefully this is making sense so far. And then the last thing when it comes to SEO is off-page SEO, basically building backlinks. Now, building backlinks is a whole long process. There's a lot of ways in which you can do it. There's ways to build free backlinks. There's ways to build paid backlinks. I've made extensive videos on this. I'll leave them down below because there's a lot of strategies on how to build backlinks. Basically, I have like off the top of my head, I have like 20. I'll just give you one right now, and if you guys want to learn the other ones, just check the links. Again, this is all links all going to be for like free YouTube videos on how to do all those. But I'll give you the one that I think it's most appropriate for now, which is using LLMs. So let's just go, for example, for ChatGPT right now. We've used Google's AI mode. Let's just go for ChatGPT. Okay, let's say I want to rank for the prompt. Let's say, what's the best AI software or AI SEO software for agencies? Okay, let's just remove this and put it standard. Let's say again, I want my brand to be mentioned for this right here. How could this get me backlinks? Well, you'll see, because in all these LLMs, right, they all base the info they give you off of certain citations, certain sources. So this is sort of a two-in-one backlinking strategy, because we're gonna get a backlink, and we're gonna get a backlink from a source that we know gets cited for when we type in a prompt we want our brand to show up for. Hopefully that's making sense so far. Let me elaborate. Okay, so this is done. If you go here, open the sources, right? Well, you'll see that these right here, sure, a lot of times the brands that are recommended, so this brand was mentioned right here because it's from their own site. But a lot of times the brand mentions don't necessarily come from the brand site. Let's see right here. For example, let me find a quick example. Okay, this was a bad example. Let me just dive deep a bit into this. I own a 100 people agency, which is the most affordable tool for this, right? I'll have to dive a bit deeper, and I'm doing this live on purpose so you guys can understand that this doesn't work every time, because again, it will depend heavily on the prompt you're typing. But we'll see while this loads, I'll go show over the strategy itself, which is looking right here at these sources, right? Look at these sources right here that are being cited for when you type in a certain prompt that leads to them talking about these brands, right? And these sources right here, we could open them right here and see, okay, could we get a backlink from these guys? So this is called Web SEO. It's a post called White Label SEO, how do I choose the right tools? And again, these tools are mentioned somewhere around here. And because they're mentioned here, they're being cited from that source and being plastered all right here. So our goal is to, okay, could we get our brand to be mentioned right here? Just like I mentioned before, like, could we get our brand to be mentioned right here? Okay, so if we can, we could pay these guys to place our brand mentioned in a backlink from this site to ours. And it's 2-in-1 in the sense that we get a valuable, relevant backlink from a powerful domain and from a domain that we know is being cited for the prompt we want to show up for. So it's basically 2-in-1, okay? So let's see right here. Again, this wasn't the best prompt for this, but hopefully you get the point, right? We just open up all the sources that we know are relevant for this prompt, so i.e. relevant backlinks for us, okay? Open all of them and see, okay, let's see if we could get our brand included right here. Let's just scroll down and hit the contact support and ask, hey, by the way, how much you guys charge for including my brand right here, or how much you guys charge to write a new piece of content and post it straight to your site. Again, this is a paid way to build backlinks. Does work. There's a bunch of other free ways, which again, I'll link down below in the description. Hopefully this made sense. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. And that's basically the compressed version of this full Framer SEO course. A bit theoretical, somewhat practical, but I do genuinely think that if you go out and apply this to whichever extent, you can see success in, again, ranking your Framer site higher on Google and having your Framer site be mentioned by LLMs. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see and check for which prompts your site is being mentioned by LLMs, you can go here to growth, brand monitors, you go here, add your brand, and you can track if your brand shows up in all these LLMs, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, Grok, and then you can see, okay, if they do mention your brand, are they saying good or bad things about you? And you can add as many prompts as you want. Right here, you can even bulk import prompts. You can even add, you can track your competitors' prompts as well. And you can see, for example, for the keyword or the prompt, best auto blogging software for SEO. I can click this and I can say, okay, which LLMs mention my brand? In fact, all of them do except Perplexity. And you can see where and how. Okay, right here, I mentioned here right here, and these are the sources that it's citing right here. And one of the sources is, for example, I don't know who these guys are, but they're mentioning our brand right here. Okay, so again, you can check which LLMs mention your prompts using Arvo as well. But again, that's basically the Framer SEO course. If you guys have any questions, please comment in the comments. I'm here to help, genuinely. And if you guys want to install the plugin, again, it's free. Just type in Arvo into the Framer's plugin marketplace, or just check the links in the description for this, and also check the links in the description for a bunch of other free courses and backlinks and other SEO stuff. So yeah, that's it. If you made it this far, please comment the words Framer SEO. This would help me understand if you guys watched this far. And also, the more comments a YouTube video gets, usually the YouTube algorithm tends to push this out to more people. So if you could do me a huge favor, if you found this somewhat helpful, hit the like button and comment the words Framer SEO. That'll be amazing. It really help me out on this. I don't monetize the channel. So again, comment the words Framer SEO. Click here to watch this next, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.